couple of weeks ago I was coaching someone, and a visualization exercise came into my mind out of nowhere, and I shared it with that trader, and it seemed to help. It was a variation on a meditation that I've been doing for years, but with a new feature. And that new feature was an owl, which had entered a sacred place that I create in my meditation visualization. And that owl was not giving me advice at all, but rather it was helping me achieve a state of self-knowledge, and it embodied feelings of infinite patience, compassion, and no judgment. Somehow I knew that the owl would always be there for me. And at the end of the exercise, when we get up and go do the next thing that needs to be done, there is a certain knowing that you can always go back to that place and the owl would be there. And so after I reflected on that, I remembered some of these facts, that I had been mourning the death of my father up until about 2 days earlier, and without really being aware of it. And I knew it and I felt it, but I hadn't really processed it. His totem animal is the owl. And a few weeks earlier, I had been given a gift of a priceless drum at a workshop we did here in Kansas City, and I didn't feel worthy to receive it. But I accepted it because I had to, I couldn't refuse it because it would be disgraceful or disrespectful to the person giving me the gift, so I had to accept it. And so a bunch of those things came together to me, for me, to put together this owl meditation in the hopes that maybe somebody else could benefit from it. And I was asked to put it in an audio form, so here we go. I'm going to share it with you, and I really can't tell you how much better of a person I've become as a result of having done this over the years. The addition of the owl has a very powerful meaning for me, and so I would love to share it with you. All right, for this meditation, you're going to need 2 sheets of paper and an envelope and a pencil. After you do this a few times, you might just do it mentally, but what I have found is that there is a real power in writing actual words down with a real pencil on real paper, putting it in an envelope, and then acting on it. And so I would encourage you to try it that way. The first thing I want you to do is take paper number 1 and your pencil, and I'd like you to sit quietly and then make a list of every discouraging voice that you hear in your head and the message that that voice and all those voices are telling you, and just write them out and fully experience what it's like to hear those words and to see those words on the paper until you've got them all out of your head and onto the paper. This can be towards your life in general. It could be focused on a particular project. If this was about trading, it would be every negative thought in your head in any voice that you can hear that tells you why you can't do it, you won't do it, you won't be successful, you're not worthy, you're not smart enough, you're not rich enough, you're not lucky enough, you'll self-sabotage, you don't have what it takes. You know the drill. All the things that we hear in our head. When you're done writing those things down, I'd like you to turn your attention to the inside and describe in one word for each feeling. I'd like you to name the feelings that you feel on the inside when you hear those words come into your ears. Fear, loathing, disgust, regret, sadness, disappointment, misery, anxiety. List them all. After you've done that, go back through that list again and make sure you really captured them all. Get them all out on paper. Just get it out there. Put it on the paper. When you're done with that, feeling all those feelings, I'd like you to fold up that paper and put it into the envelope. and take a break. Next thing I want you to do is get paper number 2. And I'd like you to list all the positive things that you can hear in your head about your project or about your life. You're good enough. You're smart enough. People like you. You have the right stuff. You can do it. Keep trying. Go for it. It's your dream. You've been aiming at this for years. It's your goal. It's your passion. It's your purpose. It's your mission. All of those things. You're a natural. You were born to do this. After you've heard all those words in your head and gotten them down on paper, I'd like you to flip that paper over and write down all the feelings that you feel when you hear those words. Pride, joy, surprise, humility, confidence, aggressiveness, unworthiness, whatever it might be. These positive words might trigger negative feelings. Wouldn't be a surprise. When you felt all those feelings, go back to that first page, see if there's anything you missed. Add the words. Flip it back over, add the feelings. When you feel satisfied that you've got most of them, and there's no more to be said right now, fold up that piece of paper and put it in an envelope. I'd like you to take that envelope, seal it. I'd like you to address it to your higher power, whoever, whatever that may be. And then I'd like you to take that envelope outside, set it on the ground, and think about your higher power and offer that envelope as a gift of trust to your higher power. And then burn the envelope. And then I want you to step back and watch the smoke as it curls up into the air. And watch where those little tendrils of smoke go. Smell the smell of the burning paper. Feel the heat from the flame. See the different colors of the flame as it dances around the paper. Watch the paper turn to charcoal. Watch the smoke drift away. Watch the smoke become the air. See the wind push the smoke around the world and beyond. And when the smoke is gone, what I'd like you to do is take 2 deep cleansing breaths, close your eyes, and look inside until you see a pond at dawn or at twilight with no waves, still water, darkness, stillness, silence, and a feeling of waiting. Until when the time is right, you notice that next to the pond there's an oak tree. And after a time, you see that on the limb of that tree, there's an owl. And the owl is watching you. That owl sees everything, but you realize it doesn't judge you, nor will it ever judge you. That is the owl of self-awareness, of infinite patience, of compassion and understanding. And when you acknowledge that, and you know that it is true, get up and do the next thing that needs to be done until it's time to sleep, to be ready for the next day. And then get a good night's sleep. Wake up and meet the day with a smile, knowing that you're ready for the next thing, whatever it may be. And remember that owl in that tree next to that pond with the deep, dark, still water and that comforting silence. And remember that that owl will always be there for you to help you with self-awareness, to offer infinite patience, compassion, and understanding, and no judgment. The owl's been there. He's gone through all that stuff too. He knows how hard it is. But that's part of what we are and who we are and the life we're living. And so we're not alone. Remember that owl, and remember that it will offer that to you whenever you need it, and you can come back to this space, to this place, and spend as much time as you need to recharge, to feel the feelings, and to just let them go. Offer those up to your higher power. Trust in that higher power. It's there to take on that load for you. All you have to do is trust and act. And when it's time, get up and do the next thing, whatever it is. You know what it is you need to do. Just go ahead and do it. No hurries, no worries. Just get on to the next thing. That's all. Take good care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself and others. No hurries, no worries.